Good afternoon, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. This afternoon we do play Dundee. I am just checking this sound out because, yeah, it's not too bad. Hi, San Francisco. Right, let's get back to it. Sound is okay, it's probably not the best. So the team is out, and a big shock, no Rio Hatate after this morning's video where I thought Rio Hatate might have played, but Celtic have put the team out. The team out is Hart, Alistair Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor, McGregor, O'Reilly, Bernardo, Maida, Palmer, Kyogo. And then on the bench, you've got Bain, as always, Yang, Turnbull, O'Quan, Forrest, Ralston, Welsh, and Mikey Johnston. Mikey Johnston making the bench. Mikey Johnson making the bench, and let's face it, that's an uninspiring bench. I don't want to be negative about this game, but when you look back at the benches that we've had over the last couple of seasons, that is a very uninspiring bench that we do have now. And I understand that you do have Rio Hatate injured, and we do have Lila Bada injured, but other than that, the bench is terrible. I mean, the fact that we're still having to rely on James Forrest after 15 years. It says a lot. It says a lot for James Forrest that he's still an important player for Celtic, but it also says that relying on David Turnbull when he's going into the last 6 months of his contract, refusing to sign a contract, and let's face it, will Celtic sell him to try and recoup some of the money? Paulo Bernardo, I was expecting, yeah, Ryan, I was expecting a little bit more. Hi, Stephen, I'll get your name up there. Ryan, I was expecting a lot more from Paulo Bernardo as well. I think the manager is of the concern that we do need someone a bit faster and a bit more direct in midfield. Wouldn't be surprised if we go out and get another midfield player during the next window. But we have to do the business with the team that we have. Dundee have put their team out also, but when you look at it, our bench is so uninspiring. The only players that are going to do anything coming off the bench is O and maybe Yang to a certain extent. But even Yang's not done enough for me to show that he's a main starter. You know, he has been injured, I understand that. But when you're looking at Ralston, Welsh, and Mikey Johnston, I mean, this is your bench that we're looking at. And when it gives you fears. I mean, Ronnie Dyler's bench wasn't as bad as this. The fact is, Turnbull, Ralston, Welsh, and Mikey Johnson, nothing, nothing there excites me on that bench whatsoever. Nothing excites me on that bench. Bernardo's not any better than Turnbull. He might not be any better than Turnbull, but when it comes to it, he's the man that's getting the game time just now. Liam says that we're saving Rio for the next game. Um, I'm wondering if he's even going to be fit enough for that game. Maybe the manager is going to keep him for that game. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Into this mob, Sean's going for 4-0 today. And a big shout out to Stephen from Germany. We'll just get that in. I still think we will have enough in the tank to win this today, but it's going to be another game where a team is going to sit back for the best part of 80 minutes and then they're going to hit us on the break, which I think is just boring football, but Celtic need to try and break them down. Celtic will need the pace of Dies and Maida today to try and break down the defence, and hopefully his crossing can be a little bit better and it gets on the back of some cracking crosses for Kyogo. Kyogo needs to be on fire today also. Will Kyogo get another game? Will Kyogo make it 2 games in a row that he scores for Celtic? And yes, I have got an old t-shirt on today. We're not here to take part. We are here to take over with the one and only Brendan Rodgers, Scott Brown, and Kieran Tierney. And I understand Scott Brown is up in Dundee today doing some commentary. Ryan says, what realistic signings would you like to see come the end of January? Definitely a striker. I mean, if you want to go into names, there's no point any us going into names because Celtic are going to pull names at the hat that we do not expect players to come in, the names of players to come in. We definitely need a striker. We need a sitting holding midfield player for definite that can take over from Callum McGregor and push further Callum McGregor further forward. And we need a left back. I still think that we need a goalkeeper of a really good quality. We need a goalkeeper that's going to come in and command these box, because every time Joe Hart he just gives me the fear. And it's not that he's a bad player. It's just that he's done things like this his whole career. And I think that we should have had a goalkeeper in looking at beyond this season. And Celtic are always far too short sighted when it comes to the transfer market. Although they buy players in and think they'll get a turnover of them in a couple of years, with a position like a goalkeeper, we need a goalkeeper that can come out and catch a ball from crosses. Never mind this punching nonsense. We want a goalkeeper that commands his box, that will go through players and come out the other side saying, you know, but anyway, Liam Scales should really be taking shots from outside the box, says Alan. I think so as well. He gets in that position plenty of times. Take a shot, man, he says. We're going for the Ipswich keeper. I've not heard that one. There's a lot of rumours going around, but it's until I hear something a bit more confirmed and from people that I believe are more in the know, I'll not say anything about it. Mikey Johnson reminds me when I used to take my dog out and kick the ball about. Look at all the goals lost. Yes, exactly. When you look at the goals lost, they generally come from goalkeeping errors or defensive errors. But I think the defensive errors should start sorting themselves out as of today. Let's get on and see if there's any other Celtic news kicking about since this morning. Just give me 2 seconds. Obviously the team is out, and we know that there is no Rio Hatate. That'll be the big one for me, is the fact that Rio Hatate has not made the lineup today. Let's see what some of the headlines are saying. Mazowski. Um, no. Exclusive. Premier League club sends scouts to watch Celtic player. Don't know if you've heard anything about this one. West Ham have set their sights on Matt O'Reilly. West Ham are keeping close tabs on Matt O'Reilly, and they're sending up a scout today to watch Matt O'Reilly. That's something that we knew that they would do anyway. But Matt O'Reilly's going nowhere. Look, if you're going to listen to the media, Matt O'Reilly has come out and said, "Look, I'm pretty happy at Celtic. He's just signed that new deal this season. Matt O'Reilly's not going to go anywhere, and he's definitely not going to go down and play for West Ham just because they're from London, mate. Not mine. Anyway, Scott is going for 3-0. Paul McEwen's going for 5-0. Afternoon, Baz, Phil Timms, hail. I hope you all had a peaceful Christmas. Yes, Stuart. Hope you all had a cracking Christmas. Rio Hatate out. Rio Hatate, another double against that lot. I think that would be fantastic, because you've got to remember that was his first game for Celtic under the previous manager. Dundee will not sit back today. They'll make us work hard to get a result. Having said that, I think a 2-1 win with Kyogo scoring again. Greetings from Germany. Germany. That's another one from Germany, is it? Let me just find that's yeah, that's two coming in from Germany. Stephen's coming in from Germany today, and is Nigel. Where? He's anywhere? He's sitting next to each other. Nah, of course you're not. Germany's a massive country. Anyway, thank you for watching this live. Something today is going for a crazy scoreline. I'll get to that in a minute. Alan Stevenson's going for 4-0. I don't know if we're going to do one of these big scorelines. We're due one, but we've been that misfiring. You've got to admit, the last game against Livingston, if Kyogo hadn't hit it so straight, we could have got another goal. Martin's in Belfast, hi to him. We're due a 4-0. We're due a 4-0. Is this the game that gets us the big result that calms the nerves before the next home game at Celtic Park? I heard that the daily record have been taken over by Andrex. Something today is going for 6-1 to Celtic. Scott says if a big offer comes in, the board will sell him. I don't think the board would be brave enough to sell him after selling one of our best players in the summer for 25 million and not investing that money into the team. Let's face it, we spent around about 15 million on 9 players in the summer. I don't think that selling Matt O'Reilly in this window for 25 million plus would be an absolute meltdown. Celtic fans would not stand for it. It's not even worth thinking about. It's not even worth thinking about. Definitely not worth thinking about. Let's Smell the Glove is going 1-0. Hard game. I think it will be. Oh, Belfast is in the house. Martin's in Belfast. Good afternoon to you, Martin. Pat McGuire was close to Mountbatten. Same team as Saturday. Yes, it is the same team as Saturday. Let's hope there's more goals than there was on Saturday. Stephen Cassidy is going for 4-0. San Francisco Celtic type as the boys watching the live with Jimmy. I'm not even. I'll put that live, but I'm not saying that. We can't trust the board. No, we can't trust this board. And but if that was to happen, and Brendan Rodgers has emphatically said that he said we want to build a team round our best players. If we go out and then and sell Matt O'Reilly, what does that say to Brendan Rodgers? What does that say to the fans? Would the fans sit back and take that after the garbage that we've watched this season? And you've got to remember, as it stands today, we're still top of the league. We are still top of the league. Just, but we should have been away further in front of them. And sitting with a big load of cash in the bank is not what we want. Anyway, let's get back to the game today. David says, hail from Helensburgh. We need genuinely good performance. I don't think we were convincing against Livingston. We need a strong 90 minutes. Definitely need a strong 90 minutes. Considering it's an away game, the fans at away games tend to get behind the team a bit more, and they tend to be a bit noisier. I know it is a bit of a just allocation to what we used to get years ago up at Dundee, but I think the result should be favourable to Celtic this afternoon. I definitely think that. Hail from Banky Boy in the West Midlands. Stephen says it's time for the goodwill, so hit the thumbs up. Perfect for that one. Stephen, what are we sitting on just now? Let me just refresh this page, and we are sitting on 35 thumbs up. Make sure you get as many. We're sitting about 150 watching just now. I was reluctant to go live because the software StreamYard has been a nightmare, but it seems to be okay today. So the breaking news this afternoon before the game, which Talent Spotters watched O'Reilly drive Celtic to a fine display in Celtic's 2-1 win over Feyenoord. This says on December the 13th, he supplied 8 assists in this campaign, and they are sending up a scout today to watch O'Reilly, which is interesting. That's West Ham. So West Ham are going to have it. Doesn't matter if they're going to send someone up at all. Matt O'Reilly is going nowhere at the next transfer window. Let's just put that one to bed. If Celtic were to sell Matt O'Reilly after the summer, after the ridiculously bad transfer window that has transpired to be, bringing in project players that just hasn't worked out, I think it would be wise not to shift any first team players. Brendan Rodgers has said, he said, look, we want to build on what we've got, the good that we have got. Last game, either was back on track, false dawn. I'm nervous, said San Francisco Celtic. Kaiser is in the house. And County Clare in Ireland, Paul is in the house. Some today says, we're due someone a serious doing. Even with a second tier squad, when a bad and real are match fit, we'll be smashing everyone. They're falling apart across the city. I would rather, if we're going to do anyone with a big cricket score, let's leave it till the next game. And get one of them. Australia is in the house this afternoon. Also, it's another one. We'll get started. I'm going to make sure that you all get a shout out before the end of the video. Time is it? Because I am going to the pub to watch it. And dreading Dundee's first corner at a set piece. You've just given me the fear. You have just given me the fear. Can you see O'Reilly going to Spain? I think he will go to a top team in Europe. It depends where his ambitions lie. If his ambitions lie just to go down to the English Premiership and go to a mediocre team, I think there's a lot of big teams on the continent would love to get their hands on Matt O'Reilly. When you look at the fact that AC Milan have been looking at him, I think Spain is a country and a type of football that they play in Spain would far suit him, purely for the fact that it can be a little bit slower, but you get more time on the ball, which would be a good fit for him. But whether he'd like to go there or not, it's a big difficulty with the language barrier that you do have when you go to Europe. But he does. He's bound to speak Danish if he is Danish. Surely, surely Matt O'Reilly does not just only speak English. Anyway, hail from West Belfast in the house. What's with all the American part are in the chat? It's the American part in the chat. I'm not even reading all. Clean sheet and 3-0 today. And Angelo says 3-0 also. 3 years, nobody heard. 3 years ago, nobody heard of Matt O'Reilly. Sell him if a decent offer comes in and move on. Move on. Really, this early? Would you not rather wait until we get another season out of Matt O'Reilly? I think we need Matt O'Reilly for one more chunk of the Champions League. Make sure that we win the league this season, get into that Champions League, and then after the Champions League, we're obviously not going. We're going to have to go through qualifiers, so it'll be interesting to see what happens then. But we definitely need the likes of Matt O'Reilly for the Champions League next season. Matt O'Reilly's already been speaking about the Champions League this year and what he wants to try and do next year. So hopefully he's still with us then. There is 192 online now. Fantastic. Going to stay on for about another 5 minutes or so, then head off to the pub. So the big news this afternoon is obviously that the West Ham have sent up a scout this afternoon to watch Matt O'Reilly for the second time in the space of a month. Looks like that they might be thinking about putting an actual offer in for Matt O'Reilly, which Celtic would be crazy. Inter Milan pursuit of Danish rising star reaches dead end. Midfielder is determined to stay at Celtic. This is coming from an Inter Milan site. This has come from Inter Milan. Inter Milan pursuit of Danish rising star reaches a dead end as the midfielder is determined to stay at Celtic. Inter Milan's chase of Matt O'Reilly has reportedly hit a brick wall, with the player hell bent on staying at Celtic. In recent days, reports from the United Kingdom claim that Inter Milan are after the up and coming star. However, news has emerged as he has now ruled out an immediate exit. O'Reilly is happy to stay at Celtic for the time being. The midfielder was well aware of interest in his services, and yet has decided to pledge his loyalty to Glasgow Celtic. However, Celtic are eager to maintain their squad intact for the remainder of this season as they compete against the Sevconians. This includes O'Reilly, so they will not sell him this transfer window. But AC Milan are well aware now that they will not get him this transfer window. You've got to remember that AC Milan wanted him on loan until the end of the season. They wanted him on loan until the end of the season, and then an option to buy. What an absolute nonsense. What an absolute nonsense by those cheeky Italians. There's no way O'Reilly will be sold in January. No, not a chance. With 60 million, yeah, you're right. With 60 million, the pot of gold when we win the league this year, or whoever wins the league, hopefully it is us. I can still see it being us. Can't see it being that lot from across the city. But then that might all change. That might all change in the next game. But I think the next game, I think we're going to pull out one of those results where it just goes, calm down, lads. Know your place. We decide. We decide when you win and who wins. Anyway, do you like the Green Brigade message on Saturday? Yes, I did, Stephen. Lowell will see O'Reilly faster than the others heated driveways. Lol. Right, that is big shout out to some of the guys online from all around the world. You remember, this is the channel that does give out a shout out to all the Celtic fans all around the world. First up was Stephen coming in from Germany. Then up was Nigel, who was also coming in from Germany. And then we get some more local ones. How did Stuart Ramsey get in here? It's David. He was coming from Helensburgh, County Clare, Ireland, and then Australia. Australia was in the house, so we were almost right round the globe this afternoon with the Dundee Celtic Live. The team, we've had some predictions, we've spoken about the team, the fact that there is no Rio Hatate, it is a bit devastating that there is no Rio Hatate, but with him being such an important player to Celtic, it could be the fact that Rio Hatate does come in for the very next game. So on that note, let's get ready to go and watch the Celtic And it's time to go and get. Yes, here you go. See you later, Baz, my fellow time. I'm on the hoops. Brussels. Brussels is in the house. Star that one as well. Brussels is in the house. We are completely all over Europe. Florida's in the house as well. That's it. We have hit the globe. We have hit right round the globe. We've hit Australia. We've hit America. We have hit the European continent in style. We've hit Ireland and we're back home in the UK. And on that note, have a fantastic day. Come on.